Wheat, a staple food for millions of people around the world and vitally important for global food security. Hi, welcome back to Commodity Brief. In this episode, we're going to be looking at wheat. Wheat is a very important commodity which is consumed by millions of people around the world. Now, wheat has been produced by humans for many years. In fact, the records show that it is first cultivated in about 9,600 BCE, which is about 12,000 years ago. In terms of the production, wheat is cultivated on more land than any other single crop, on about 220 million hectares. And in terms of the trading of wheat, the volumes of wheat traded are greater than all other crops combined. So it's a very important commodity for the world of trading. Now, in terms of the production itself, the production of wheat on a global annual basis is about 750 million tonnes per year. You can see that it's spread out into several specific regions. So we have North America, with the United States, we have Canada, we also have South America, we have parts of Europe, and we have India and China. In terms of the actual countries themselves, we can see that China is dominating the area of production. Now, these four countries here make up 47% of the global production. So they're very important for this commodity. In terms of the exports, Russia is the largest exporter, and so their crops are very important in terms of the wheat market. United States, Canada, France. And in terms of the imports, we have Indonesia, Egypt, and Algeria are some of the largest importers. Otherwise, in terms of the trading of wheat, this is dominated by the four majors of the grain trade, the ABCD of grain trading. So that's ADM, Bunge, Cargill, and Dreyfus. And we also have to include COFCO because they are very important in these trades. And by some estimates, these five companies make up between 80 and 90% of the world's grain trade. Otherwise, in terms of uses, so obviously one of the biggest uses is for bread, flour to make bread, but also we have tortilla, which is very common in South and Central America. Wheat is also used for animal feed, and so the quantities being used for the animal feed can have a large impact on prices and also the demand for animal meat itself. Also, it's been used for some alcohol, for beer, whiskey, and vodka. And wheat is also used sometimes for biofuel, for bioethanol, and we also see it being used for the thatched roofs of houses. In terms of transportation in wheat, wheat is transported in very large quantities. And so the vast majority of wheat will be transported in bulk. Small quantities are transported in container, in bags, but that's a very small part of the industry. So the vast majority have been transported in bulk, and so it will be basically transported to a silo where it's going to be stored at exactly the right temperature and the right moisture level, and then it's going to be transported on to be loaded into the ocean-going vessel. It would normally be poured into the vessel with a conveyor system like this, and here is an example of a typical wheat-carrying vessel. This is a Supramax vessel, about 60,000 tons deadweight, and we can see it's got no cranes on board because it will be trading between ports that have their own cranes and infrastructure. So otherwise, in terms of the risks of the transportation of wheat, what we're really looking at here is, first of all, moisture. Moisture is very important. If you let the moisture content go up too high, first of all, you'll have mold, and so the cargo will be lost. But also you have to be very concerned about the germinating, about the biological processes which could actually produce CO2 buildup in the cargo. We also have to be careful about damaging the cargo itself, and one of the main risks is going to be infestation. So we have to be sure that the wheat has been properly fumigated and that it is looked after throughout the whole period in which it has been stored. So that brings us to the end of this episode of Commodity Brief, and we hope that you'll click back later for future episodes. Thank you.